Anup?
Yep. Thank you so much, Ashish. So myself, Anup. So many of you know me. So I have roughly around 10 years of industry experience, primarily in .NET technologies and all. As far as MuleSoft is concerned, like 2 to 3 years, 3 years of experience in MuleSoft. That's 1 year back. Um, and yeah, so I basically do instructing certified instructor at MuleSoft. So I do take fundamentals, production ready practices, integration solutions. So those kind of courses I take day in day out. And yeah, I'm also working as an integration architect at NJC Labs and a Coimbatore meetup leader. And we have one more organizer. Um, Alkesh, she is a solution consultant at AP0. She has around like 4 years of experience in MuleSoft. Um, yep, that's about her. So we have speaker Sonali. Thank you, Sonali, so much for accepting our invite and then joining this meetup. First of all, uh, yeah, I'll let you to introduce yourself.
Thanks everyone. Thanks Anup for giving me this opportunity to speak in your wonderful meetup group. Uh, that's the very first meetup group I started speaking with last year. So this is my favorite
Yeah.
actually. So yeah, so today again this year I come up with the new topic to speak. That's a very new in the market in MuleSoft. Customers are like recently picking up this tool. So just quickly introducing myself, I am Sonali Mehta. I'm like 15 years of total IT experience. Around 5 to 6 years in the specifically in the MuleSoft architecture space. I'm working as an enterprise architect in the MuleSoft architect or admin SME in Codis. I'm a certified MuleSoft designer. That's little bit not updated, but I'm working on that. So I'm a MuleSoft mentor. I'm co-leading the Chicago Meetup group, and also I got the recently I got the award for top news of leader. So congratulations to me. Yeah, so that's a bit about me. You want to go with
Yep.
the safe harbor?
No, yeah. Thanks, Sonali. Thank you so much. So safe harbor statement. So there's a couple of points that we want to tell that as a speaker and organizer, we work in our individual capacity. We don't represent any company. Um, and so whatever, as we tell in cinemas and all, whatever the organizer or presenter, we are not responsible for any giving you any solution for your business requirements. And yeah, so we are not here also for any promotional activities. So yeah, so by the end of this, we have a trivia quiz. Three members will be selected. Whoever answers quickly, answers fast, and answers correctly will be selected, and then you get a chance to appear for our instructor-led training programs. Yes. So with that, I'll let Sonali to start presenting for herself. Yeah, Sonali, you can take that. I'll stop sharing.
Sure. Thanks. Let me share my screen and I can quickly. You able to see my screen now?
Yes, Sonal.
Yes, yes,
You're
yeah.
able to see.
Okay, sure. So like to start with, let's discuss agenda of this meetup. So agenda is pretty simple, just introducing the MuleSoft Composer. What's a MuleSoft Composer? A brief about the MuleSoft Composer means how you can create the flows, the flow components, which components you can use to create the flow, and the flow component, flow creation task. And then we'll see the quickly a little demo of the same solution I have provided as an example. And after then we can go quickly with the trivia quiz questions. So, okay, so first is what is the MuleSoft Composer here? So, uh, so MuleSoft is, as we all know, and we are very much familiar with the MuleSoft Anypoint integration, Anypoint platform. So MuleSoft Anypoint platform is basically it's a all-in-one suite for the integration to solve the integration problems across all over the world that we all know. But MuleSoft Composer, it's a recent tool developed by MuleSoft, and that's a very easy to. It solves the integration challenges in a way that it's 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 very easily integration flows can be developed with the any business people, with any non-technical person who are in the team and they want to create the integration flow, or connect the systems or get the data, fetch the data from the system. So it's a easy tool in a way that they can just build the flow by the clicks, and not they don't have to write any code, any single line of code for that. So that's the main benefit of using the MuleSoft Composer. And it's a very easy tool that even I think not even the business owners, but even a child can build the flow integration flow very easily. If they want to connect two apps, they can easily connect the apps with the MuleSoft Composer. Let's see what's the so that's the basic advantage, and that's the main advantage actually. So in the it's just like with the WordPress, it's very easy for all the people who are non-technical, who don't know anything about the technology, and they can create the websites the same way. The integrations are like developing the integration flows. It's very easy with the MuleSoft Composer. So just no click, no code, just with the clicks. It's connecting apps and data within the Salesforce user interface. Business users can create their own integration flows. They don't need to go to the IT team and technical team or the developers or the technical leads for their help to build the flows. And integrations with the integrations, they can automate the everyday tasks, they can improve the customer experience, and they can have a more insight into the business performance. So let's see what's the okay. See what's the features are connect as it connects as an authenticated user automatically to different systems. It extracts the data from connected systems based on a specific event or schedule. Uh, it views sample data in every step of the flow. It maps the extracted data from the system to another. It also filter and routes the data through the flow based on the conditions. It's synchronizing the data across all the different systems. You can test, run, and monitor and manage the flows uh, in the MuleSoft Composer, and you can troubleshoot the errors of the flows. So these are the main features. You can also you it all the features covers, like you can perform the complete software development lifecycle in the MuleSoft Composer tool itself. So those are the main benefits of the MuleSoft Composer. Let's see the Composer flow, which components you are going to use. So there are 5 components. So first one is a connection. Connection component, it's a configuration that uses a connector and associated users or some system credentials to connect to a system. The flow, so basically connector component you can use to connect to the system, it, to check the triggers, to retrieve and manipulate the data. So connection, so here in the figure you can see the example of connecting the Salesforce connection to the Salesforce org. There are like the type of the event is defined here, new or updated record, and the object type is defined as an opportunity, because in this example, basically the example is the sales team is creating the sales team is creating the sales order, and it's connected to the Salesforce org, and it's taking the creating the data and updating the records in the Salesforce org based on the opportunity condition. If the opportunity is closed one, it will update the record in the Salesforce. So that's a simple integration between the sales orders, the which is in the NetSuite system, and the Salesforce system. So it's a connection integration between the two systems. So that's the first with the connection component. It's basically create the connection with the Salesforce org. Second, trigger component, it starts with the flow sequence of action, actually triggering the events. Flow must have at least one trigger. Trigger can be an event that occurs on a system and passes data into the flow to start it. So it's basically just when you go to somebody's home and you are knocking on the door. So trigger is just like that. It's just the knocking on the door that it's triggering the event. And so trigger can also be an elapsed period of time. So here in this example, trigger is an event, the creation or updating records in the connected Salesforce org, as we have discussed with the object type opportunity, and the event is the new or updated record. So this is the trigger event for that. So third component is if else block
Sonali, sorry to
in
interrupt.
the sure.
Mm. Yeah, so can you just play it? The images looks very small. If you can just click on that play so that it will be expanded. I guess you can switch it over there. Uh, no, you need to play it
Can
once
you
again and use the switch, the other one. Okay, onto your right, you can see
uh,
that. You can see that switch next to the cross mark, next to the before the cross. Yeah, yeah, click on that.
you able to see
Yeah,
my
so
screen?
now
Okay, sorry.
yes, yeah, it's full now. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, I'm using the monitor, so it was on that screen. But yeah,
Okay,
so
no
the
problem.
if else block, so I can continue, right?
Yes,
Uh,
please.
yeah, so third component is the if else block. So it's basically, we all know that it's a condition based component. So uh, if else block evaluates data from the preceding step against a specific condition. So you have to create a condition to use this component. So in this example, you can see the condition is created with the opportunity record is equal to close one. So if the record is matching with the closed one, then it will go in this it will follow this condition, and it will take the actions based on that. But if it's not matching the condition, if it's not a closed one, then it won't take the action and go to the next component on the route. So the fourth component is the action. So action is basically once the it's basically a task that flow performs, such as extracting data from the system, manipulating the data, or evaluating whether or not to take the action. So as we discussed earlier, in the last example, if the condition matches, then it will take the action. So after once the condition is matches, it will go to the action component, and whatever action is specified there, it will take that action. So in this example, continuing that previous image, so in this action step, it will, if the stage field value is equal to close one, the next two actions are to get one or more accounts and all the products associated with the opportunity in the sales force. So here in the figure, you can see the two actions, that one is to get the associated accounts and second is to get the opportunity products. But if that condition is not matching, if the stage field value is not matching to closed one, it will skip these two actions and go to the next action in the flow. So but the action component is basically just a task. Whatever task is defined there, it will perform that task. And the last flow component is the for each block. As we all know, the for each block iterates over the record of the input data and performs one or more actions. So basically, to iterate the number to for each over each record, we are using the for each block. So in this example, it first iterate over each account in the input list. So here you can see the input list. In the input list field, it's defined the list of accounts. So it will iterate over each account, and then it connects to the NetSuite and creates a sales order containing all the products associated with the opportunity. So you can see here in the figure the fourth step, that is the creating a sales order using the NetSuite. So these are the five flow components we already see, like the five types of components we can use to create the flow. Now this is the flow creation. It's nothing but simple API life. It's the same as API life cycle, all the software development life cycle. The only difference is the fifth step. So first is the let's go to step by step. First is the plan, that you're planning for the planning and the requirement phase, where you see the requirements, and depends on the requirement you create the solution, you which systems you need to integrate, or like systems you need to connect, the data flow and all that. So that is in the planning phase. Second is the design and test. So design and test, where you create the you design the composer flow, and you simultaneously test the flow in each and every step. You see in the last figure, you can see here that here in the this is the first step of the flow design, that you are actually just connecting the Salesforce and triggering the action here. But at the same time, when you trigger the action, you can see the system is connected with the Salesforce org is connected. So the second step, at the triggering the event, you can see the sample output in the right pane. So here you can see the sample output for the account ID field, amount field, campaign ID. So whatever field is selected from the Salesforce org, you can see the sample outputs there. In the same way, you can see the sample outputs in each and every step that we the demo in the next part. Third, so that is the while designing the flow, you can test the same way the same way as Anypoint platform. When we design the flow in the API designer, we can have the mock test in the API designer itself. So the same way, it's like design and test. Third is to activate. So in the activate step, when you actually activate the flow, it will start actually integrating the system and actually performing all the actions in the runtime, uh, and you will see the results. So you actually activating the flow. Fourth one is after activating the flow, you can monitor and troubleshoot. So that is the fourth step. And the fifth step is to deactivate. So once you get all the actions performed, and as long as you want the composer flow, you can keep it activate. But if the requirements change and you no longer want to have the same flow, then you can deactivate the flow and it will stop working. So that is actually kind of deleting the flow. So that is the deactivate state. So let's see the demo. So I just want to mention one thing here, that I don't have the composer account, but for the similar example, we can see the demo here. The video is available, so I can quickly play that, and we can simultaneously discuss the same steps.
In updated cases, if a case has been created or updated with the status of escalated, we will send a direct message to the customer service supervisor. Otherwise, we will send a message to the Slack channel. Composer. Let's get started. In this demonstration, we will connect to Salesforce and listen for new and updated cases. If a case has been created or updated with the status of escalated, we will send a direct message to the customer service supervisor. Otherwise, we will send a message to the Slack channel. Connector 1 is Salesforce. Connector 2 is Slack. The prerequisites for this demonstration are a Salesforce org and a Slack account with the ability to create 2 channels. Once logged into MuleSoft Composer, you'll be presented with the home page. The home page lists your most recently updated flows. Let's create a new flow by clicking on the Create New Flow button. We will start by changing the flow name from Untitled Flow to Sync NTO Service Cases with Slack. Click on the pencil. Click Save. Next, select your trigger. Triggers kickstart the flow. Let's select the Salesforce trigger under the System Event section. This will trigger the flow every time a Salesforce event occurs based on your configurations. Click Salesforce. Click Add New Salesforce Connection. Let's type NTO Salesforce Demo Connection. Click Create. Authenticate. Allow access, and a connection was established. Now let's rename the trigger. Click on the pencil next to Trigger Salesforce, and let's rename our trigger to Get an NTO Service Case.
So far we have seen that we have established the connection with the Salesforce, and this is the second step in the flow that we are actually with the trigger component, we are actually establishing the action. The triggering event. So that she is displaying here.
Click Save. Next, let's choose an event that starts this flow. We have 3 options: New record, new or updated record, deleted record. Let's choose new or updated record. Now let's pick the object type. Let's choose case. Next, we select our fields of interest. Click Select Fields. Let's choose case number, case origin, case reason, priority, and status. Click Add. Notice to the right, there's a sample output pane for viewing sample data. Now let's add logic. Click the plus sign. This time we're going to add a conditional logic. So we're going to choose if-else block. In our if block, we're going to keep the criteria the same. All conditions must be met and we're going to choose a field. The field will be status. And this is coming from our case object in Salesforce. The operator will be equals, and the value will be escalated. Make sure to spell escalated correctly. Now let's add our Slack connection. Click the plus sign, choose the Slack connector, click Add New Slack Connection, and let's name our connection. Let's name it Slack Demo Connection. Click Create. Authenticate and allow access to the correct workspace. The connection was established. Let's rename our Slack action to Send Slack Message to Supervisor. So go to Slack action and click on the pencil. Click Save. Let's choose an action. The action will be send a direct message to a user. So if the status is escalated, then we're going to send a Slack message to the customer service supervisor. So under the user section, I'm going to represent the supervisor. So I'm going to put my Slack username. So start with the @ symbol, followed by your Slack username. Now let's add a custom message. To do this, we're going to bring up the custom expression editor. Click on this pencil. And here's the custom expression editor. In the message section, we will write our custom expression. Our custom expression will say case number, the origin, the reason, the priority, and the status. Click Apply. What about the default case? Let's click Add Else. Now in the else block, we want to add logic. Let's click the plus sign. We're going to click the Slack connector again. And let's choose the Slack demo connection. Let's rename our action to send a message to the customer support Slack channel. Find the text Action Slack. Click on the pencil next to it. Click Save. Now let's choose our action. Post message to channel. This time we'll choose a channel. Click on the magnifying glass dropdown. Select Pick from List. Now navigate to the right dropdown and choose your channel. In our case, we'll choose Customer Support. Our message will be very similar. It will be case number, the origin, the reason, the priority, and the status. All of this is coming from the Salesforce case pencil, And this takes us again to the custom expression editor. Now let's save our flow. Click the Save button at the top right. Once your flow is saved, it's time to test. Click on the Test button and navigate to your Salesforce org. And let's create a new case. When done, select Save and navigate to MuleSoft Composer. Now we're waiting on the trigger to pick up the event. The trigger has picked up the event. The test case has passed. So remember, we hit the else block. The reason we hit the else block was because our status was set to new. So we should see in our customer support channel in Slack a message. Let's check. Customer support channel, and we see our new message. The next step is test the escalated case. Click Test. Navigate back to your Salesforce org. Create a new case. This time, your status needs to say escalated. Hit Save when done. Navigate back to MuleSoft Composer. The test was finished, and our if condition was met. Let's navigate to Slack. As you can see, we received a message from the Slack bot, and we can see our new case was escalated, and it was sent directly to me from the Slack bot. This concludes our demonstration. Let's recap. Today, we created a flow in MuleSoft Composer to send.
So this was the example of connecting Salesforce to Slack channel, and you can see in the demonstration that the Slack channel, the message was updated, and you can see the message on the Slack. You can see here the different examples connecting this, the demonstration of the flows from Salesforce to Slack, Workday to Microsoft Teams, Workday to Microsoft Teams using the MuleSoft Composer. You can see even the examples of Salesforce to Microsoft Teams, Stripe to NetSuite. This is the all the Composer flows you can have the examples of. And so this is the all that I wanted to discuss in this meetup. So in the appendix, let's quickly discuss how we can have the Composer account. So these are and how we can get the flow Composer flow we can build in the with the Composer account. So first is to first is how to configure how to get the MuleSoft Composer account. So you need to check with your organization who are the partner of the who must be the partner of the MuleSoft, and through the partner company you can purchase a MuleSoft Composer license. Once they purchase the license, you can configure the MuleSoft Composer. So to configure, you have like Salesforce enables your org with the MuleSoft Composer and provide the user permissions. As a Salesforce admin, you can follow these steps to set up configuration of the MuleSoft Composer. You can select the setup. You can search for the MuleSoft Composer in Salesforce UI. You can you can find the MuleSoft Composer there. Click on the MuleSoft Composer. You can get it started with the MuleSoft Composer, and you can install the manage package. So what are the other settings required for the pre-authorized users? So you need to change the type of permitted users. To change the permitted user type, you need to click on the open settings, OAuth policies. You need to select the admin approved users are pre-authorized. Here it's shown in the figure that you need to select that option in the OAuth policies. And for IP relaxation, you need to select the enforce IP restriction in the drop down. So these are the settings required. Next is to enable the MuleSoft services. So as you move on in the configuration settings, you need to configure the MuleSoft services. You need to click on the initiate configuration. Salesforce creates, once you initiate the configuration, Salesforce automatically creates Anypoint Platform org and an account for you, Salesforce org. So third and the final step is the user access. So how you can manage and manage the accesses for users for the MuleSoft Composer. First, you need to assign users to MuleSoft Composer. You need to click on the assign users. As shown in the figure in the right side, the green highlighted is the assign users in the first image. Second is to set the permission sets. Once you assign the users, you need to click on the you need to assign the permissions to that user. So you need to click on the composer user. You need to click on the manage assignments, add assignments, and then select the user names to whom you need to assign the permissions. Click on the assign and then done. So you are all set now uh, to create the composer flows in Salesforce user interface. So these are the steps you need to perform for the configuration of the MuleSoft Composer. Thank you so much for your patience, for listening me, and for giving me the opportunity to explain you the composer topic. And any questions so far? Any questions related to the topic?
Yes, guys. Please post your questions in the chat if you have any. So meanwhile, so Nadia, I have a few questions. So this MuleSoft Composer, what was the rationale behind MuleSoft to come up with a composer kind of a tool? We have Studio and we have Flow Designer in the Design Center to create designs, and apart from that, we now have a MuleSoft Composer. So do you know what was the rationale to MuleSoft to come up with such kind of a tool?
So basically, we have the great products in the Anypoint platform with the MuleSoft, like Anypoint platform, API designer. You have the API manager. Through which you can manage the APIs. You can have the runtime manager. You can deploy the APIs there. You have the Anypoint Studio to create the flows. So these are all products so far. You can even monitor and track using the monitoring product, you can track the APIs. So all these products require the technical expertise. But so these are mainly for the Anypoint Studio. You can create the flows, but you need to have the knowledge about the coding. You need to like quickly drag and drop the connectors. But even in that, it requires a configuration that is more specific to specific knowledge is required about the coding languages and different building types, the Maven and all that. So you need to have the specialties in that in the development side as well. But the composer is mainly for the business users, or you can consider as a non-technical users, in like the testers who are like not so experts in the programming languages and the building the like coding and the configuration parts. Mainly MuleSoft Anypoint Studio has a lot of connectors. Mainly it requires more understanding on the configuration side. So but those who are not aware about like how to configure the connectors, how to like put the logger and add the message there, so which property they should uh, like put the value in, so all these specifically minor things required lot of understanding and lot of coding expertise. So this composer is basically just plug and play kind of tool that you can click on the buttons and you can create the integration flow, and you can connect the
Okay.
apps. You can get fetch the data from the particular field uh, of the database. So that's a very easy. It's in a very simple example I can say, like comparing it with the building the website with the coding HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and lot of other front end back end technologies. But and compare it with the building the website with the WordPress or Wix or that kind of platforms. So if you Composer is kind of a WordPress tool for the integration, and Anypoint Studio and the Anypoint platform with any deployment model, it's just like the building the website from the scratch. So that's my understanding.
Okay. Okay. So is it like let's say that there are more transformations required for an application? Is MuleSoft Composer, can we recommend MuleSoft Composer for the customers if we have that kind of complex business logic involved in your applications?
Yeah, definitely we can suggest customers the Composer tool for the little applications. We have the connectors in the Composer available. Not the same amount of connectors like Anypoint Studio, but we have like MuleSoft is even like adding the connectors in MuleSoft Composer as well. So definitely, I mean, definitely, it's preferable to use the Composer for easy integration, quick, and like to speed up your project and integration flows.
Okay. 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 Fine. So it's not only for quick prototyping kind of activities, right? You can do full-fledged integrations.
Yeah, you can do full-fledged integrations with the connectors available. You need to make sure the connectors are available in the MuleSoft Composer for which you want to integrate with. Other than that, still it's they improve the product, so more connectors will be available. But it's definitely, if the connectors are available, it's very easy to integrate with the MuleSoft Composer.
Okay. Okay. And can you throw some light on what are the deployment options we have for this? Or
Composer.
it's an service? Yeah, it comes as a service.
So as per my knowledge, it's still it's a product. Not sure about the deployment models for the composers, but this is the this is the product we can use for the integration, build the integration flows.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shana. Yeah, that's it. So one question from Zainu. Is there any trial version for Composer component?
Um, so you need to check with the MuleSoft for that through your partner, through your company, who is the partner of the MuleSoft. So one, you can check with the Trial versions are not available. You need to go through your partner company and get the license, and then you can use the MuleSoft Composer.
Yeah, yeah, I see. So to add on to that, if your company is partnered with MuleSoft, so there will be a partner success manager associated to that, to your company, and you can check with them to get a trial account for that MuleSoft Composer and then try it out. Okay, yeah.
Because for myself, for this demonstration purpose, I request for the trial account, and they said the company I work for, that should be that they should get the license, composer license, and then I can use that. So I don't think trial version is available.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so we had a question from Manik. So yeah, he was suggesting a probably Composer is more citizen developer focused. Yeah, yes, I think so. So citizen developers are the targets. So I think like 100% orchestrated by platform in the cloud. We can't choose and affect development. Okay, so yeah, so basically it comes as a service, software as a service.
Yeah.
Fine. So one question from Sriram. So is Composer useful only to connect apps available in your interface enterprise, or can you even connect to external apps like via HTTPS?
It's so as per my knowledge, it's only you can connect the external apps which in Composer whose connectors are available. You, I mean, it's not as per my experience. So far, I have not. It's not in my knowledge.
Yeah, but we can pull in a request kind of a connector and then call a third party REST API or a SOAP API, right?
If connector is available, we can definitely connect that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we need to be sure that connector is available. Okay, I got it. Yeah, cool. Fine. So any other questions, guys? So we'll move on. Okay. So yeah. Okay, fine. So we'll get into the trivia quiz section. So I'll just share my screen. So by default we are going to use the Kahoot platform to do it. So I'm just sharing it. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm doing it for the first time. So Balkis used to do it. uh, so do anyone? So Ashish, you have any idea whether we should need correct select classic mode or something?
Yeah, go to classic mode.
Yeah. Okay, so you need to log in with this pin, guys. I'll copy this pin. Or I'll post this pin in the chat. 489 489 So so let me share my screen again. Share my this thing again. 1 second. So these are the instructions. So you need to log into www.kahoot.com. So via your mobile phone, and then um, click on play button on the top right, and you'll be asked to provide the game pin. You need to provide the game pin for that. So just provide the game pin which I've shared with you in the chat, and don't provide your nicknames. Provide your full name so that we can track who you are, and then if you are the winner, we can provide you with the details. So if we're providing a nickname, we might force to select other person who the next person. And yeah, for every questions you'll be having 20 seconds. So one more thing, guys. So you should not be a MuleSoft meetup leader, or you should not have won um, the trivia quiz in any of the meetup in last 30 days. If you have done, don't enroll for this particular trivia quiz, because anyway MuleSoft is tracking that, and will be blocked from attending any meetups, attending any trainings. Um, yeah. So this is one, and yes, we'll talk about that in a bit. So let me wait for the participants. We have 7 as of now. Okay. Okay, we have 11. I'll wait for like 1 more minute. Guys, let me know if you need more time. Send me a notification in the chat, so that we'll wait for you guys. Otherwise, we'll get started in a minute.
I could see 20 attendees. At least 20 has to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, let us know if you are facing any issue, guys. Log in from your mobile, and then questions you can look into your laptop. So mobile and laptop. Okay, so you have to select options in your mobile and have a look at your question on our screen. It will be easy to play. And I will be this being give your proper name. Okay, and let us know if you are facing any issue. 13th, I could see 7 to 8 more, guys. Come on.
Yep. I think.
Yeah, you can log in.
Yeah. So shall we start?
Yes.
Yep. So I'm going to start and lock it and start it. So let me know, anyone last chance. Okay. So here we go. I'll start with the first question, and there will be 4 options. You need to choose the right one from your mobile. So here we go. Start. So this is not the question. Let me read out the questions. So what group of users should use MuleSoft Composer to perform integration task? So that's a one last we discussed in the end. Should be straightforward. Okay. Yep. So we have 9, and click on next. So we have who is winning. Rohit Singh is actually at the top. So we'll go to the next question. So Krishna and Dheeraj is following along. So go to next question. So next question is, what does MuleSoft Composer not enable you to do? Okay, so what will it not allow you to do? Yeah, that's right. So let me go to the next question. So who stands up? Yeah, Krishna. So I'll go to the next question. So we have totally 5 questions. So the next one in the list. Which flow component should you use to connect to various external systems? Various external systems. So don't think about the MuleSoft Anypon Studio components. It's going to be different. The name, at least the name is different. Oh, that's great. Yep, it's connection. The next question. Okay, so we have this one. So Krishna is again leading. We go to the next question. So what component should you use to evaluate conditions in a flow? Conditions in a flow. Choice router. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So most of them, yeah, impressive. Thank you, guys. And have Sriram. That's great. So next, last question. What is the next step after you monitor the flow? Next, next step after you monitor the flow. Okay, that's troubleshoot. Okay, that's great. So let's see who is the list.
Congrats, Ram, Jenu, who is on the podium. Rohit Singh. Congratulations, guys. Yeah, please share
Yeah,
your email IDs. Okay.
yeah. Please share your email
And
IDs in
make
the
sure
chat.
that you have and make sure you have training account with those IDs. Okay. If you don't have, please create.
Yes, yes, that's important. You should have your training account associated with that email ID. Okay, please share. Let me take back to the presenter. So once again, thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much, Sonali, for taking up this session. And so it's nice and informative. So at least we get the basic intro of what Composer is and what how we if we need to practice, how we need to go. So that's very important. Thank you so much.
I
Yep.
would
So
say it was very easy, connecting two systems with the clicks. That's what she mentioned, right? No coding at all.
yeah,
Clicking. So
yeah,
this is like, the business people who doesn't have the technical background, they can easily go and, clicks. That's it, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sonali. Thanks for, having that great session. And attendees, thanks for attending the session on your weekend at 8 p.m. Okay, that's a great thing about the community. Thanks everyone. Please take care.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
everyone. Thanks, Ashish. Thanks, Anu.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So what's
Yeah,
next?
bye bye.
Please use the hashtag hash Coimbatore MuleSoft meetup and do provide your feedback. So that's one thing that is we take very seriously these feedbacks. Do provide your feedbacks, both positive and negative feedbacks. So we'll work on it. We'll work on it. Yeah. So once again, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, no, thank you, Sonali.
Yep.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Bye bye.
Ashish.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Sonali. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Abhishek. Thanks, Ravi. Um, thanks, Manik.
I'm dropping the call now. Thank you.
Sure, sure, sure.